Okay, good day, good day. My name is Leanne, the host here at Image Made. I want to just talk about something that I'm still in the position of doing. It's called transition. This episode is at least. And yeah, so one of the things that I realized transition it is all emotions at once. There aren't any feelings that you can pin down in that moment. A lot of the time it is it feels like a whirlwind of everything going on because you're in a place of mourning, you're in a place of excitement, and you can't just say, yeah, I'm just excited about this, yeah, I'm excited about this. It's kind of like a mesh of the two, and then all the other things that you're in a process of closing that chapter. And so I realized that living abroad, it takes up a lot of emotion that you probably subdued for the longest time. And then when you get to the point where you can close that chapter, you start to realize, hold on, actually, I should have done this. I should have traveled more. I should have spoken more of the local language. I should have done a lot more, or I wish I didn't do certain things. So yeah, now it's the summer holidays in pretty much the entire northern hemisphere actually, and most of the people are going through like a change in academic years. For us who are not in school, it's still quite a big change because of the seasons, but also because September, October feels like that time where it's just like, it's like a sense of newness kind of thing. I kind of want to hone in on Isaiah 43 verse 18 to 19. In the New Living Translation, it says, "But forget all that. It is nothing compared to what I'm going to do. For I'm about to do something new. See, I have already begun. Do you not see it? I will make a pathway through the wilderness. I will create rivers in dry wasteland." For me, why that's significant is because I was so ready to just be able just to think, let me transfer what I've done in that season to this one. It doesn't work. How someone put it quite eloquently, she was saying, when you're moving, you throw out the things that you don't need and you keep the things you do need. And it's kind of like, that's the same thing when it comes to transition, any kind of transition, whether it's a more spiritual thing or whether it's more of a physical thing, or location, or if you move in location, you always have to think about, what do I need and what do I need to leave? So I just want to just highlight, be all right with where you are. For my kind of like mantra is always invite the Lord in, always speak to him about, like, Lord, this is how I'm feeling, what's the deal, what do I need to do right now? And most of the time when I've invited the Lord in, he's like, okay, hold on, let's look at where you are. And he doesn't try to like overwhelm me. He's like, okay, let's take this slowly, because right now you're like 50 steps ahead and you're in your mind, but physically you're still here. So let's come back. Let's bring ourselves back to the present. What's all this? Like, get as many emotions out, name them. It's when you can name them, that's when you start to realize, actually, now I know kind of what to do with them. So for me, when I transitioned from Korea back to England, I thought, I've done this before. This is fine. This is easy. But I realized that it wasn't just the morning of leaving Korea. It was also the morning of, I'm gonna have to start my entire life again. And it was kind of daunting. I definitely wanted to just skip past all this, and that doesn't quite work. So be all right with where you are, and pray for exposure over the suppressed feelings. I definitely had a lot of frustration, a lot of anger that I had allowed myself to get, just like to have all this pent up anger about what people said and done, and they've forgotten about it, and I was still festering over it. And so I would suggest that you pray for exposure, especially when you're in the middle ground, because however you finish up on the previous season can really determine where you are in the next season, how your next season can springboard. And if you're holding on to a lot of things that people have said to you, things you should have done, things you wish you had done, that can really dictate your next season, because you could be like, but I can't really enjoy it because I didn't do all the things I thought I should do. All right, you know what to do next, and bring the Lord into that. Like, there's no part of your transition that should be done alone, because the moment you start doing it alone, you'll notice how quick you start getting frustrated with everyone. You notice how quick it's just like you start hating things. You just like everything begins to get really really annoying really fast. And the one thing you need to do is to stay in a place of, I can't even just say peace, because it is a hectic time, but kind of grab onto whatever peace you can get and hold on to that as much as you can. Doesn't mean you dismiss your feelings, but to hold on to peace as much as possible. Yeah. And then, on the other side of it all, allow yourself to settle down. For me, I came back from Korea and I was trying to hit the ground running, and it kind of backfired. For me, I had to deal with the physical aspects of leaving Korea, leaving the atmosphere of Korea, like time differences, traveling, readjusting to home life. I haven't lived on my own for 3 years. There was just so many factors in the transition. To also be aware of your transition and allow yourself time to settle down. It's not a race. Like there's definitely the feeling of like, oh, other people have set up their life in a better way because they've had the 5 years, for me at least, they've had the 5 years to do so. I've been away and I felt like I was struggling with, it's an insecurity. I kind of thought, oh, well, I've kind of started off with zero, and I realized that's not true. And the people that I've spoken to just said, no, we all have insecurities. That's just one of the insecurities that you walk through. It's one of the things where when you're transitioning, it's so easy to look at people who are stable, but like anyone who moves home, moves to university, moves city, moves in any way, shape or form to a new job, to a new school, even starting the academic year. All these forms of transitions are not something to just like walk through and just be like, it's cool. It's going to take time. And so don't rush yourself as well. And I just want to remind you guys to like trust in the Lord. Like if you are identifying yourself with Yeshua, then you cannot do any of this on your own. Like to trust in him and to allow him to just take your hand and walk through this environment, because it's gonna get hard. Like it's gonna be like, why am I doing this? Like, this is long. I don't wanna be transitioned. Can we just move it on? And also, hello spider. That was very calm for me to stay that calm. Like very odd for me to stay that calm. Also accept the new and grieve the old. Allow the Lord to be the lamp unto your feet. Trust in him, and have your fits with the Lord. Be like, Lord, I just don't like this. Like this is long. Like I've got to do this. Complain, moan, like direct it all to him. And then once you've done all that, pick yourself up and do certain things in stages. Don't try and rush certain things. Be patient with yourself, and speak life over yourself, especially when you feel like you've got a lot of packing to do, or you've got a lot of something to do that's kind of like, I don't want to do it. Like pace yourself and don't try and leave everything to last minute. In terms of your spiritual walk, just see how keep your attitude in check. It's easy to be like, well, I've got a lot on my mind, so I'm gonna just be rude to everyone around you. It's like, really? Like, can we calm that down? So yeah, just pace yourself, allow yourself to have all the emotions. Don't try and rush yourself, and enjoy it. I know it's crazy to say enjoy transitioning when everything is like up in the air, but enjoy it, because it's time for you to close things. If you're moving, like, maybe you won't be able to see certain friends, so maybe just enjoy your time with your friends and family. If you're moving countries, take that time to just be like, enjoy that time from a fresh perspective. I will do a video on my time abroad, because that's something completely different, but enjoy the transition and invite the Lord into it always. Have a great day, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.